Austin, Texas is home to a lot of excellent builders and architects, and Reisinger & Company is a great example. They're carving out a specialty in custom architectural metalwork. While photographing the article, Metalwork for Builders, I also shot some video with Luke Gaffney, a welding foreman at Reisinger & Company, as he walked me through the basics of making a handrail for a landscaped stairway.
When marking precision metal, two processes we like to use are an X-Acto knife or a silver streak pencil. On your mild hot rolled steels, your silver streak shows up very well. On a cold rolled, we get a really nice, clean, precision line with the X-Acto knife. Two options for when precisely marking steel.
The railing is made from hot rolled steel bar stock. Luke writes the word drop on the waist side of the cut to keep track of parts. And because metal is tough on tools, Luke always checks the setup of his dry cut saw before making cuts where precision is important. A dry cut saw is a welder's version of a miter saw with a carbide tipped blade. Next, he cleans and bevels the ends of the bar stock to be welded. He uses abrasive sanding discs, stripping the surface down to raw, untarnished metal within an inch or two of the weld. The beveled edges will accept filler material during the welding process.
Hey guys, so what we're doing currently is we're giving this steel a good wipe down with mineral spirits. What it's going to do is it's going to take out any oil or gunk that we might have.
To secure the stock to the table, he uses magnetic welding clamps, a tool I'd never seen in action before.
Whenever you turn it on, they are really on there, but turn it off and there's nothing to it.
To keep the melted steel and filler material from making a mess, he sprays the table and the workpiece with a liberal amount of anti-splatter solution called Weld Clean. Then he begins joining the pieces by making two small welds at each joint to tack the rail together. Now he can move and reposition the workpiece to get the best angle when making the final welds.
We use MIG welding at Reisinger Homes whenever we're doing some in-shop things like windows, doors, handrails, and some knick-knack things that might be done inside the shop, small enough for on the table.
Luke chose to MIG weld the railing for its balance of strength, convenience, and precision. Here, he demonstrates the process.
What we ended up with is I pushed this process, so what I did was I started from the right and I pushed to the left. What you do is start with a puddle. You can see I got a little bit shaky. What happened was my lead or my cord had gotten caught on the table, and so you can kind of see where I jumped a little bit forward and just kind of got a little bit messed up in there. But that's what your MIG weld's gonna generally look like. It's not terribly pretty, but it does the trick.
With the workpiece repositioned and lifted off the surface of the table, Luke makes the final welds, filling the bevels with filler material.
So what we're doing is we're starting on one joint and we're going to let that one cool down before we move back to the opposite side. We want to let it cool as that steel expands. As it cools down, it's going to start to contract. So we'll jump over here and do another joint.
To finish up, Luke cleans up and rounds over the welds with an angle grinder and abrasive sanding discs. And finally, knocks splatter from the workpiece with a cold chisel, and the railing is ready to be painted and installed.